Hello, it's Scott Bassett of the Understanding Narcissists YouTube channel. This video is going to be a very simple concept, which is the subject of lies and narcissists telling them. Narcissists telling lies. So, there's a few nuances here that we all should consider. First of all, we know that narcissists lie, and from everything I've seen, all narcissists lie. There's straight out exaggerations. There's straight up lies, just complete to your face, look you right in the eye and lie about things that didn't happen or did happen. They lie that they didn't happen. There are lies, white lies or exaggerated lies, and there are flat out, straight up lies on things that happened, things that didn't happen, and everything in between, whatever that might be. But another thing I'd like to note is, because narcissists live in denial, I often wonder to what extent. I think they know they're lying, they think it's okay in that instance, but they also, I think they have trouble sometimes with gray areas about what's true and what's not true, and then it kind of, if it whatever the truth is depends on what people believe, where there's any kind of opinion involved, then or subjectivity, then they will believe whatever benefits them in that moment, and so they think it's true. Now that's convenient, and a lot of probably the commenters will say, oh, but they're clearly just lying, it's all premeditated. And that's possible too. You can tell me. I'm not really sure. I just like to take that into consideration because I've seen them sway back and forth between things where there's a lot of room and they're not anchored. If there's something that anchors them so that they have to believe it because it benefits their illusion, they'll believe that their whole lives. You know that. You've seen, if you know a narcissist, you know what they have to believe about themselves and will always believe despite all evidence to the contrary to support that illusion. But at the same time, there's a lot of gray area where if that isn't there, they can sway between something and believe one thing one day, another thing the next day, or both things simultaneously, depending on who they're talking to, in order to actualize that belief. And I don't think they're really aware of that. I think they just do and say whatever they need to get their fix, to get that in that moment. Narcissists are not pathological liars. They don't have a compulsive need to lie. They're not that kind of person. They lie. Their lies are systematic. It's to achieve a purpose. It's to make you believe something so that they can manipulate you or get some kind of result, and it benefits them. They know full well what they're doing. So, with that said, you can kind of run down the line. You can catch them in a lie, and that's very unpleasant for them, but generally they don't want to they're pretty careful not to tie themselves up in lies, whereas if there's something really big that either would make you not associate with them anymore or even possibly incriminate them, to where they could be charged for law breaking, for criminal activity or whatever, then they tend to break up all the pieces you would need to assimilate that, to put everything together, to make it inaccessible. So if you didn't have all the pieces to really prove that they were lying or they're doing something bad, if you were just missing one piece of evidence or one fact or whatever, you would never be able to put it together. That's how they like to keep it. But in general, they don't want to get themselves into that deep a hole, but sometimes they can't help it. Now, I'm getting off track. To get back to the subject of lying and the patterns of lies, what you need to realize is that they're very smart in their series of lying and how they lie, because what they do is they tell lies in a way that they're efficient so that you don't suspect them. To give you an example, they will lie on crucial things that they know you can't prove, that you have to take their word for it. But by association, they will tell you the truth on things that they know you can prove or substantiate by whatever way, and by association, you'll assume that everything they say is true. So they'll tell you, they may be telling you the truth about redundant things all the time. But with the important things that you don't know, you just assume they're true because they tell you the truth about the redundant things. It's just a human nature thing, and they happen to do it very well, to manipulate it very well. So that's something to take into account as well. So that it'll appear they are pathological people. They have a mental pathology, but their lying is not pathological. It's just a systematic tool. And they have to, it's not just a tool too, it's also just a result of being dysfunctional, because in order to sustain their dysfunctional behavior, they're going to have to lie. You know, that's the whole thing, is a lie. They lie to themselves, they lie to you. And the fact that they lie to you, the fact that they lie to themselves also explains why they lie to you somewhat, because they're not really honest with themselves either. So who can they be honest with? You know, once you have those lies kind of to yourself, it's going to spread out to everybody you know. That sounds kind of New Age spiritual hokey stuff, but it's actually not. I find it very mechanical and very logical in itself. And I may touch on that in future videos, kind of a philosophy type thing. But anyway, I think that's sufficient for this video. So I hope you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share it with somebody who might benefit from it. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.